What is up, guys? Happy first of the month, and that means it's time to do an update on the monthly candle closes. We did get the monthly close, and there is a lot to discuss, so let's dive straight into it. Starting out with the Bitcoin monthly return. So March closed 22.96%, and that was very nice to see. That was a nice green bullish March, and I actually made a video on the first. We'll look at that in a second. What I said for Bitcoin, where I was leaning towards the bullish side, that ended up playing out. So that was nice to see. Now we have April, which in general you can see over here tends to be more green than red. And as you will see later on in this prediction, I'm actually leaning towards more continuation. Even though there could be a correction within the month, I do still think that there is more upside coming. That is my opinion at this point in time. I will share the exact levels and why I think that a little bit later on. And then potentially May is the danger month, as it usually is. As the saying goes, sell in May and go away. There's also a lunar eclipse happening in May, which adds to the potential downside of May. But I think April could be a green month. Now, as you can see here, Bitcoin is currently trading at $28,390. We had a very strong green monthly candle close. We had a dip within the month, as you can see the wick here, and then it just shot up and it closed right at the top of that candle. So before I share with you this month's prediction based on this candle close, let's take a look at what I said on March the 1st for that prediction, and then we'll take it from there. As long as the price stays above 19.6 and we don't get a new 3-day close below this 3-day 50 moving average, the trend in my opinion is up, and we are targeting around 32 and then potentially maybe 48. Okay, so what I said on the 1st, based on those monthly candles and the moving averages, I said as long as we don't get below 19.6 with a new 3-day close, we're good. We're targeting 32K and then 48K potentially. And as you can see, the low was exactly 19,569 on this chart. So that was exactly how it played out. I'll show you in a second. It actually just retested the 3-day 50 moving average. Then it bounced and it shot to the upside, and the target was 32K. We've hit as high as 29,000 already, so we are very close to that initial target, and we'll go look at the weekly chart in a second, and then potentially the $48,000 target. So for this month, what I am looking for is continuation. This is a bullish candle. Okay, we have reclaimed the 50-month moving average over here, and that is just simply bullish. We were below it, bears couldn't hold it. We are now above it and with strength. Okay, so what is a possibility though is we could retest this on a wick. If you look at this on a monthly candle, it could pull back here within the month of April and retest that level, which would be about 24.5 on the downside intra-month. But I would expect continuation to 32,000 is the liquidity target in my opinion. There's a CME gap at around 35,000. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a more continuation to potentially see as high as $35,000 in the month of April. And then if we do get this bullish April, okay, let's just say we maybe get an intra-month pullback, we continue higher, we hit 35K and we complete the CME gap, we fill that, then what I'm potentially watching out for is May the 5th, 2023. We have a lunar eclipse taking place, and the danger about that is in last year in 2022 we had a lunar eclipse when Terra Luna UST collapsed and the whole market dumped, and then we had a second lunar eclipse in November when FTX collapsed. Okay, so there tend to be major volatility events. Last year it was both to the downside where we get these major corrections, and if we pump into that eclipse, sell in May and go away, lunar eclipse, multiple months of upside, we could be seeing that correction potentially in May, but it may not be for sure that it is going to be the top and only continue down from there. It may just be a pullback, maybe a severe pullback, and then still continuation. So we'll deal with that as we get closer to the time, but that is something I have in mind. Also, something that is scheduled to happen this month in April is the Shanghai update for Ethereum, which would then technically allow the staked Ethereum that has been locked all this time, that people can't access, to be able to be unlocked, which means that all that staked Ethereum could then potentially be dumped on the market and continue a sell. In my opinion, if the market is moving higher and we have this bullish momentum, even if that that staked ETH is unlocked and people are able to sell it, my guess would be that as long as the market is pumping, that a lot of people are going to choose to hold on to it rather than dump it right away. But as the market may continue to top towards the end of April, maybe around that lunar eclipse, that could coincide with a whole lot of ETH that currently gets added to the ability to be able to sell, which could create a bigger sell-off potentially in May. So that is something to keep an eye on. Okay, so back to the charts. Basically, the levels that I'm watching here, we could get a pullback to 24.5. Even if we get that, that is completely okay for the higher time frame trend. So as long as we don't get a new monthly close below the 50 again, everything, all those pullbacks are okay to 24.5. So I would like to actually see that, a quick flush of all the leverage, drop it to 25 or 24.5, then rocket back up, continue higher, hit the 32K liquidity target, fill the 35K CME gap, and then we'll have to see what happens in May. So that is what I'm thinking now for this month. Having a quick look at the quarterly chart, you can see this closes every 3 months, so one candle is 3 months worth of data, and this is a massive green quarter, and you could technically call this a bullish engulfing, where it just completely overshadows the bearish candle over here. So there is potential that in the next 3 months, if we see continuation here, we could see upwards towards potentially this high over here, which is also the Fibonacci golden pocket of this entire move, which is around about $48,000. I don't want to get ahead of myself too much, but that is something that we could potentially be looking at. If we get a bullish April, maybe a sharp correction in May, some continuation, and perhaps by the end of June, maybe we're pushing 40,000 if everything goes well and the bullish trend continues. So fingers crossed, because that would be really, really nice to see. But of course, we're going to take it a month at a time, a week at a time, 3 days at a time, even a day at a time, to be able to get a clearer picture of the shorter term movements. So real quick, a look at the 3-day chart. You can see this is the 50 moving average, and this is why I made this prediction on the 1st of March, where I said no lower than 19.6 with a 3-day close. That is exactly what happened. So we got the bullish confirmation here in January. I made a video about that. That is when I said we potentially have multiple weeks, if not months, of upside ahead and a new bullish trend, because as you can see, it was below that all the time. We reclaimed it properly in January. Now we went above it, we retested it, perfect, like we like to see here. We broke above it, retested it, shot higher. Over here, broke above it, retested it, shot higher. So far, this is playing out perfectly. The higher time frame trend is still bullish, and I will remain bullish for now, as long as the price stays above 24,500, which is that 50-month moving average. Alright, so real quick before we wrap this up, because it is getting kind of long already, Ethereum, let's look at the monthly chart. Ethereum is at 1817 over here, and again, nice bullish green candle. And here you can see on Ethereum, the thing that I was saying with Bitcoin, where we could get a potential pullback to the 50, that happened here on ETH. You can see that happened in March. We got this nice green candle close. It dropped to the 50, then it bounced and it just pumped and it closed towards the top of the candle. So something like that could potentially happen for Bitcoin. It already happened here for Ethereum. And I would simply say for Ethereum, you can see it's so clean here, where the previous high here, the candle bodies became the support so far, and it is held very, very well. The 50 monthly moving average here is holding as support. So far, this is bullish until we get a new candle close on the monthly below this 50-month moving average, which is 1374. As long as Ethereum is above 1374, in my opinion, it is bullish, and it could potentially be targeting here the Fibonacci golden pocket of this move over here at about 2500, or of the entire bear market, which is around 3300. So that would obviously be, you know, if Bitcoin continues higher and potentially hits 35,000 or 48,000, we could be looking at similar targets here with 2500 or 3300 on Ethereum, perhaps in the next few months. So fingers crossed that we do see this bullish continuation. Keep an eye out potentially for a sell-off in May around the lunar eclipse, and that might actually be a pretty sharp sell-off and a pretty deep sell-off if we see what has happened in the past, you know, with Terra Luna and FTX last year. We might be in for some serious volatility in May. But if we can get a bullish April, I think that is what I'm looking for right now. And of course, if we do get that, then it probably increases the chances that the sell-off in May is more likely to play out too. But that could be a sell-off followed by more upside June or July, where we hit these higher bullish targets. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, share it with some friends and family, get this out to more people, because, you know, I obviously do make mistakes, but these predictions tend to be pretty accurate, and often I do have the bigger picture right. So if there's anyone that you know that can benefit from this, just share this video with them. Also, if you want more guidance and education from me, I do have a VIP mentorship, which includes courses, training programs, monthly updates, weekly updates, and even a Discord chat group where you have access to over 2,000 members who are already in VIP from all around the world. Daily insights, daily chart updates, and direct access to myself and obviously the whole group for support. You can ask as many questions as you want. You can get that guidance. So if you need that help, the link is in the description down below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.